Rohan, you can start presenting.
Yeah, should start.
So good afternoon, everyone. Today we'll be giving a short presentation on a topic in NLP called as named entity recognition. So what's named entity recognition? Named entity recognition is a concept in NLP which is used to identify and categorize entities in text and sentences. So an entity can be a word or a series of sentences that might refer to something. And every detected entity is classified into a predetermined category. For example, as shown in the slide, a machine learning model might detect the word super AI in a text and classify it as a company name. Or in day-to-day applications, if you see profanity filters in chats on YouTube or any other social media, they filter out bad language. So this they use named entity recognition to do that. Over to you now, Rohan.
Hello,
Yeah, next slide.
am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so before going further deep, we'll first understand NLP briefly. So NLP enables machines to understand a language and provides a seamless interaction between humans and machines. So earliest signs of NLP were found in 1950, where Alan Turing proposed a criteria to judge a machine's intelligence. So the criteria was that if a machine is capable of having a natural conversation with human, it is said to be intelligent. Since then, the NLP has expanded to process large number of data sets with a goal to find new ways of understanding and creating natural language. So NLP can be broken down in three tasks: syntax, speech, and semantics and speech. Syntax means understanding the structure and rules of words and sentences. Semantics basically means extracting the meanings of the words, sentences, and the relationships. Speech means recognizing and segmenting spoken words and creating text from it. Other from this, the understanding, extraction, and recognition. There's a fourth process also called as natural language generation. This process is different from other processes, but most of the today's NLP technologies focus on processing the text rather than creating the text. Next.
Oh yeah, previous slide. So how does name entity recognition work? So what is an entity? For example, the president will meet the chairman of certain company in certain city. So in this sentence, the president, the chairman, the company, and the capacity are entities, but they are not named entities. So named entities are those which are having some noun related to them. So name entity recognition plays a major role in the semantic part of NLP. So in this, they extract the meanings of words and sentences and their relationship between them. So basic NER processes structured and unstructured text by identifying and locating entities. For example, instead of identifying Steve and Jobs as two different entities, NER, the good NER, understands that Steve Jobs is a single entity. More developed NER processes can classify and identify entities as well. So in this case, NER not only identifies but classifies Steve Jobs as a single person. In the following, we'll describe the two most popular NER methods. Next slide, please. So here's a sentence. I hear Berlin is a wonderful. I hear Berlin is wonderful in the winter. So in this case, Berlin and winter as our named entities. And below you can see another text or another sentence in which Jobs is categorized as person. So as Wozniak, and they are founded by a company named as the Apple. And there's also represented as date 1976. So these are highlighted are nothing but the name entities. Next slide. So I'd like to ask Devika to take over from here. So these are the two popular named entities. So one is the ontology-based name entity, and in this in the past 10 years, I was strongly relied on a knowledge base. So this knowledge base is nothing but the ontology. this is a collection of data sets containing words and terms and their interrelations between them. So depending on the level of detail and ontology, the result of NER can be like very broad, or topic specific. So Wikipedia, for example, would need a very high level of ontology to capture and structure all their data. In contrast, a life science specific company like Innoplexis would need a far more detailed ontology due to the complexity of biomedical terms. Ontology-based NER is a machine learning approach. So it exists at recognizing known terms and concepts in unstructured or semi-structured text, but it strongly relies on updates. Otherwise, it cannot keep up with the ever-growing publicly available knowledge. Next slide, please, Ron. So this is another NER like deep learning based NER. So in the past, NER strongly relied on, as I already explained, on a knowledge base. This knowledge base is nothing but the ontology, which is a collection of datasets containing words, terms, and other interrelations. So depending on the level of detail of ontology, the result NER can be very broadly on the specific topic. So it exceeds the same as the previous one. Next slide, please. So
Steps involved in NER. At the heart of any NER model, is a two-step process. The first one is detecting a name entity, and second one is categorize the entity. Beneath this, there lie a couple of things. Next slide. Step one involves detecting a word or a string of words that forms an entity. Each word represents a token. For example, the Great Lakes. It is a string of 3 tokens that represent one entity. Inside tagging, outside tagging, and beginning tagging is a common way of indicating where entities begin and end. The second step requires the creation of entity categories. For further slides, I'll hand it over to Pratik.
So there are some common entity categories in NER. The large amount of unstructured text data available today from various traditional media sources as well as newer ones. Like social media provides a rich source of information if the data can be structured. The named entity extraction forms a core subtask to build knowledge from semi-structured and unstructured text sources. Some of the first researchers working to extract information from unstructured text recognize the importance of units of information. Units of information like names such as a name of person or a name of organization, and it can be a location name, and there are some numeric expressions which can be identified such as time, date, money, or a percentage expression. Next slide, please. So we can create our own entity categories to suit our task as well. So uh, we can provide granular rules for which entities belong to which categories in instance of ambiguity or task specific ontologies. To learn what is and is not a relevant entity and how to categorize them, a model requires a training data. The more relevant the training data is to the task, the more accurate the model will be complete task or give a better result. Train train our model on Victorian Gothic literature, and it will be probably navigate once you have defined your entity and you categorize uh, and the label data, then we can create a training data set named entity recognition data program. And can do this, the algorithm can predict the text properly. Now Prajakta will continue the presentation.
So how is NER used? So basically, a name entity recognition is a key component of a natural language processing. It's about breaking raw text up into predefined entities such as a person, company, place, and time. That's it. So NER is suited to any situation in which high-level overview of a large quantity of text helpful. With NER, you can at a glance understood the subject of a theme of a body of a text and the quickly group text based on their relevancy of a similarly. So some notable NER use cases include, next slide please. Okay, so first is the human resources. So, in a human resources, speed up the hiring process by summarizing application CVs, improve internal workflows by categorizing employees' complaints and questions. In a customer support improve response times by categorizing user requests, complaints, and questions, and filtering by priority keywords. Over to Shane.
Next is how is NER used in search engines? If NER can be run on all articles and relevant entities associated with those articles that are stored separately, this could speed up the search process considerably. With this approach, a search term will be matched with only a small list of entities in each article and the leading to faster execution. Next use case is recommended engines. NER can be used in developing algorithms for recommended systems, which is an automatically filter out relevant content we might be interested in and accordingly guide us to discover related and relevant contents based on previous behavior. Next is content classification. Content can be automatic, NER can be automatically scan entire articles and reveal which are the major people, organizations, and places discussed in them. Knowing the relevant tags for each articles in automatically categorizing the article in defined hierarchies and enable smooth discovery. Next slide. Healthcare. Okay, the if NER can be used here for extracting adverse drug reactions and specific drugs for mentioning disease. In academia, uh, it can be used as an to search online journals or publications which holds millions of research papers and scholarly articles. There are hundreds of papers on a single topic with slight modifications. So NER can be used to quickly search articles related tags. Next slide. Next one.
So we will see the use cases of named entity recognition. So this use case is based on news providers, how they classify the contents. So we all know that this daily news and publishing houses generate huge amount of online content on a daily basis, and to manage them correctly is very important to get the most use of each article. So name entity recognition can automatically scan the entire articles and reveal which are the major parts like people, organization, and places which are discussed in that article. So knowing the relevant tags for each article help in automatically categorizing the articles in defined hierarchies, and it enables smooth content discovery. So we will see the example in next slide. So the name entity recognition algorithm takes a string of text, sentence, or paragraph as an input, and it identifies the relevant noun like people, places, and organization, as my group members explained before. So we can see the demo text which is given for the extraction. So it will extract the relevant information from the text like place as Chicago, name as Michael Jordan, and group as National Basketball Association. The name entity recognition API can extract this information from any type of text like web pages or social media network. And we can see this, the API has successfully identified all the relevant tags for the article, and this can be used for categorization. Next use case will be explained by Abdul Hanan.
Now we will see how name entity recognition is used in efficient search algorithms. Let's suppose you are designing an internal search algorithm for an online publisher that has millions of articles. If for every search query the algorithm ends up searching all the words in millions of the article, the process will take a lot of time. Instead of, we will use NER and can be run at once on all the article, and the relevant entities known as tags associated with each of these articles are stored separately. This could speed up the process considerably. With this approach, a search term will be matched with only a small list of the entities discussed in each article, leading to the faster search execution using NER. Now Sriniket will continue forward.
So next use case of name recognition is power content recommendations. So one of the major uses of name recognition involves automating the recommendation process. Recommendation systems dominate how we discover new content and ideas in today's world. Like when we watch a Netflix show, that develops an effective recommendation system, and that can work wonders for the fortunes of a media company by making their platforms more engaging and even addictive. For news publishers, using name entity recognition to recommend similar articles is a proven approach. The below example from BBC News shows how recommendations for similar articles are implemented in real life. This can be done by extracting entities from a particular article and recommending the other articles which have the most similar entities mentioned in them. This is an approach that we have effectively used to develop content recommendations for a media industry client. Next slide will be explained by Omkar.
So I'll continue. So the uses of NER. So the example of Sanjay Advani is shown as a customer support. So there are a number of ways to make the process of customer feedback handling smooth, and name entity recognition could be one of them. So the example is taken in which we can understand the process. If you are handling the customer support department of an electronic store with multiple branches worldwide, you will go through a number of mentions in your customer feedback. Now, if you pass it through the name entity recognition API, it pulls out the entities like Bandra location and Fitbit product. This can be then be used to categorize the complaint and assign it to the relevant department within that organization that should be handling this. The second use is now if you pass it through the name entity recognition API, it pulls through the entities Bandra location and Fitbit, which is the product. This can be then used to categorize the complaint and assign it to the relevant department within the organization that should be handling this. Similarly, there can be other feedback tweets, and you can categorize them all on the basis of their locations and the products mentioned. You can create a database of the feedback categorized into different departments and run analytics to access the power of each of the departments. So the name entity recognition for the products is shown in the screenshot besides that. I pass it over to the next person.
Use cases of name entity recognition in research papers. An online journal or a publication site hold millions of research papers and scholarly articles. So skimming through the data can get fiddly. Skimming through that much data online looking for a particular information is not a good option, as the data is not segregated well. So we can use name entity recognition, as there can be more than 2 lakh papers on machine learning. If you put tags on them based on entity extracted, you quickly find the articles based on the convolution networks of face detection as discussed. Talking about unstructured data, unstructured textual content is rich in information, but finding what is relevant is always a challenging task. With extensive amount of data that comes from social media, emails, blogs, etc., becomes increasingly hard and important to extract, categorize, and learn from that information. So there can be other NLP techniques for process discovery, but you want to categorize your data well structured, name entity recognition API is your best choice. Over to the next person.
Conclusion, thus named entity recognition is an advanced area of natural language processing, and businesses are using it to extract information from the named entities from text data. Content recommendation, improvement in website interactivity, concept extraction, and text classification are some common applications of named entity recognition. NER plays a key role by identifying and classifying entities in a text. It is the first step in enabling machines to understand what seems to be an unstructured sequence of words. Nevertheless, it is still a long journey to understand text like a human. One becomes particularly aware of this when going into detail, as we found out NER understands Steve Jobs as a person. Thank you, sir.